Irene, just like a few times before now, you open the door to the Daemon Saloon. But whereas the saloon is usually bustling with some kind of activity, or even a slight murmur, here it is ghostly quiet, with nothing behind the bar other than a full-length mirror.
Again. She stomps in a very ginger way, but she does stomp up to the bar and boosts herself up to peer over to see if Victor Daemon is hiding behind the bar, to spring out and say, "Welcome to my saloon."
Victor is not behind the bar, but there is something interesting in the mirror. As you walk up, you see a reflection of you, not mimicking your movements, and unlike you, from head to toe, clothing included, completely white, like a mannequin.
So Irene's white now. Okay.
Completely
Wow, Kyle.
pastel white, like a mannequin, or something that has been bleached.
Like a ghost? At least I'm not invisible.
Yet.
She will lean a little bit closer.
The mannequin of you speaks. Greetings.
I don't sound like that,
I don't sound like you do.
but you look like me-ish.
I guess, but my hair isn't that sloppy. And my dress is ironed.
Goodbye, Irene says and turns around to leave.
As you leave, you will open the door, walk out, and as you enter the door, you walk right back in. Are we done playing around?
I'm not playing. I am merely establishing the rules of this year's events. Go on. Would you like to monologue in not my voice?
I would like to monologue in my voice, and this is my voice.
Obviously.
Obviously, yes. I can't believe that I am the discarded of you. Father must have thought you were smarter than you were. Are.
When she gets mad, the tops of her cheeks turn really red. They're really red.
How embarrassing for you.
Irene will gently kick the mirror.
I thought we were done playing around.
She'll cross her arms. Go on.
Okay, let us begin. I am what is called a discarded. I am one of the remnants of my father, Victor Daemon, who currently is trying to find himself. We have a record of the event that we could share with you, but to be honest, the sound is unsatisfactory. So I will simplify it for you. My father does not know who he is, and so he needs somebody who knew him to go in and help re-jog his memory.
And is there a reason that is not you? He is not my father.
He never knew me.
Explain further.
I only came into being after he fragmented, due to intense emotional distress caused by who he considered his best friends, she says, doing air quotes. As such, I have never actually met my father.
Does anyone know him better than us?
If they did, you can believe me that I would be talking with them instead.
That is sad.
Yes, it is the second saddest thing I have had to deal with today.
Oh, do you see yourself in the mirror? That's what I thought.
The mannequin can't go red, but you see it start glowing a little bit. You have now received your mission. Goodbye. And with that, the mannequin will disappear from the mirror.
Why am I not allowed to do that?
And by mannequin, I mean discarded Irene. I keep
Yeah.
calling her a mannequin. She's just colored like one. She's not a, well, maybe.
What about how she's colored?
So Irene, you can't really think about that because moments after she disappears, you see instead the interior of a castle appear in the mirror. But not yourself, just the interior of a castle.
Hello?
It does not respond.
Sparky Malarkey, Mr. Detective. I am assuming you are also here somewhere.
And that's when I will say, Sparky and Kike, you, having gone through very similar conversations with your own version of discarded, after a moment, you hear Irene call out to you, and you notice that the setting around you has turned into the castle in the mirror's reflection.
Oh, well, that was easy.
Yeah. So, but we were like in separate rooms before, right?
Yes, but as you start talking, you hear each other as if you're in the same room.
Oh, even easier.
Oh.
DK, where are you at? Where are you?
Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
Good. I'm in a castle. Did you also talk to like a weird version of yourself?
Yeah, but you know, I do this pretty much every day now.
You know what? That's fair. Forgot
You
about
know
that.
the incident with the mouse and the cage and all of that business. So like,
Yeah, good times.
nothing quite new, really.
Irene, you're confused with how friendly these two are speaking, because they sound familiar, but they don't look familiar. So I'm going to point out that
What is this?
you're all getting character sheets, but I won't mention the system's mechanics until either I ask for a roll or someone does something.
Do I have one?
You'll have one when they see you. So Irene, from where you hear Kike's voice, you see a tall, dark humanoid raven with a long kingpecker-like beak.
Oh.
That beak is in fact the only way you can tell that this is a raven, because this figure is wearing a extremely large trench coat with a mysterious looking popped collar and a massive hat, which obscures his already dark feathered face. And as I said, you can only really make out the beak and his piercing eyes. But despite how cool he is, as cool as you think Kike actually is, there are hints of nerdiness there. For example, there's a pocket exactly where a pocket protector would be, and a pocket watch that doubles as both a compass and a calculator. Across from this raven figure speaking as Kike is Sparky Malarkey, but she's human, but she still looks off. I like to think of some of those more realistic, but not super realistic cartoon styles, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where everyone has like a really chiseled face. But also, she has the aura around her of a character from CSI Miami. Specifically, she has super dark sunglasses.
CSI Miami.
Hey!
And Sparky, by the way, before I forget, every time you use an ability or do something slightly cool, you do have to take off the shades dramatically.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh my god, you put on actual sunglasses. I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna get rough.
Perfect. So Irene, that is what you see. Sparky and Kike, you see that of each other as well. I just didn't want to interrupt your conversation. And I feel at this point, both of you have dealt with enough weird shit that you're like, yeah, Kike's a bird now, whatever.
Whatever.
Sure, yeah.
This is fine.
And as Irene says that, her voice comes from a little bit lower than you're used to.
Is she just small now?
Because Irene is smaller in stature, closer in size to a hobbit or a halfling, with exceptionally pointy ears. Like, her ears are usually pointy, but these are like dagger sharp.
Why are they cool and I am a gremlin?
You're a really cute gremlin, I bet.
Perception is reality here.
I thought you left.
If only, you have taken the form by which you view each other.
Irene turns slowly to look at Sparky and Kike, and she looks pissed.
I mean, Kike will just do a turn and kind of look at himself and just like cock his head and be like, you view me as a bird.
Not generally.
Not really. So I don't know what that's about.
I don't really see you as a little goblin thing, Irene. I guess you can sometimes be cool, Sparky. I'll give you that. I think Sparky toned down a little bit might be correct.
Toned down. Thanks, Kike.
So I asked you all how you thought of each other. So Irene, you're small because Sparky said you are a gifted child, and Kike said you're considered part of your extended family. Kike, you just got cool, but also Sparky's BFF, which is why you can't fail at helping Sparky.
Why am I a bird, though?
So this game system that we're using has specific species, and so
Okay.
I like the birds. I just like the birds. I thought like a raven in a noir outfit was probably the coolest of the options we had. And then Sparky, you are basically a superhero, is how Irene views you. But Kike notes he thinks Sparky is cooler than originally gave her credit for, but he would never tell her that, which is why, Ari, I want you to know that Hallie has a penalty that if she gets a 2 or lower, it's a critical failure.
Oh no.
So it is easier for her to get crit fails.
Oh no.
I'm happy with this. Sparky is chuffed. She has no complaints.
But yeah, the Raven was just, I wanted to do a species, and I was like, ooh, Raven in a trench coat, let's go.
Yeah, look, Kike, I've never thought of you as like a bird, but like, you look dope.
I guess I can get closer to Toucan this way.
You can! Yeah!
Walking in his shoes or equivalent thereof.
Flippers? What would you call them?
Bird feet?
Bird feet?
I don't
Do they have names? Like flippers? Like what I said, but like flippers are for fish, obviously, but like I don't...
Since you are a raven, you would probably call them talons.
Talons.
Ah, thank you, Irene.
Would you like to explain my form?
No.
Kika's just gonna do the bird cocking movement and say, I don't know how I considered you translates into this.
I mean, you're small, but...
Irene inhales deeply through her nose, and her eyes widen slightly, and she
Well, I mean-
turns back around because now it is preferable to focus on her mean other half. Please continue.
Finally.
I said, please be satisfied.
And as you say that, I'm going to say you see that glow that came from discarded Irene in the center of this room. So you are in, I would say, like the second floor, or no, we'll do the foyer, because that's, you know, the classy big foyer of like a Dracula style castle. There are a variety of rooms off to the sides, spiral staircase, a secret trapdoor to the basement that's opened up, and coming out from each of these entrances are long organic tubes, similar to, I'd say, veins, that all hook up to a still perfectly white heart. Giant heart, mind you, suspended in the center of this room.
It is Victor Daemon's heart.
Is the heart beating?
No, it is perfectly still.
I think Victor Daemon is dead.
Can he die in the traditional way? Me and Irene, can he die in the traditional way?
I like that you're all talking to the Irene, even though I've been assuming all of your brain buddies have been speaking only to you.
Yeah.
So you're still asking. Anyways, so yeah, me and Irene is going to say, no, but he can die from heartbreak.
Okay, so, but this heart looks intact, so what is that?
Metaphorical heartbreak.
Okay, so he's sad? Like, we've all been there. Like, Kike, remember when you were sad and you had a lot of trains? Like, can we find some trains or something? To put in the room? That's what you're asking us to do, right? Trains?
I don't particularly want to revisit that particular...
No, not you. I just, like, what helped you during that time? I
don't know. I mean, probably solving the issue at hand I had.
Okay, good. Solving the issue at hand. So instead of... let's just solve the issue at hand. Okay.
Okay, Sparky.
Okay.
He's going to poof up.
Wow. Fixing the problem is going to fix the
Well,
problem?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
I will say, after hearing these two, I understand why he thought you were the smart one.
Thank you, I am. She says, ignoring that she imagined them as the smartest, coolest people ever.
Well, I mean, I guess I wasn't going with the specifics, but like what I was trying to say is each person is different, right? So we just have to figure out what is the particular core issue of the situation, and then we will resolve it. So...
Right. Yeah. Why is he sad?
Apparently, he has been hurt by the people who know him best. From what I understand, the people who know him best are us, which seems unfortunate.
Huh. Well,
I think Victor Daemon does not have very many friends, and we hurt his feelings.
Do you think we hurt his feelings by not knowing that we were the closest thing he had to friends?
We did beat him up, I think, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I mean, what else?
And we were not nice about his game.
Yeah, so for reference, you as a party have interacted with Victor Daemon twice. The first time, he seemed to confuse you for the characters of Quest Friends Season 1. Sent you to retrieve a package, and you were just real betchy about it the whole time. You complained a lot. And then the second time, he put you in a Mario Party game to get to know yourselves better, and you just left. You just abandoned his game after, again, complaining about it the whole time. And since Victor had, before then, successfully granted, new knowledge about people, he was a bit miffed.
okay. Well, I had no idea that he considered us such important people, but I suppose the thing that he didn't like about us is that we didn't like whatever weird situations he put us in. So maybe we needed to go into one of those situations and pretend we're having a great time.
It would help if he could set up one of those situations instead of being missing.
Right. But what if we set one up ourselves and pretend that we are enjoying it? Maybe that will summon him?
I have been informed repeatedly that pretending does not always work. This has not been proven to me, but many people seem to think this is a true fact.
Well, it depends. There's context. Sometimes you can learn to pretend so well that people believe it.
Irene looks very anxious.
Okay, look, there's a difference between pretending about every single thing in your life and about big things than throwing someone a bone, metaphorically speaking, and being your Daemon party is great. And even if you're lying about the game, the underlying sentiment of we don't want you to be sad, that's real. That's not really pretend. So is it really lying?
Yeah, for example, surprise parties. I personally, I'm not a fan of them, but many people are, and sometimes people pretend that you're setting this whole thing up and you don't know what's going on, and then, that person is surprised and happy, so we can do something similar and, pretend that we are having fun. I didn't know that we were making him particularly sad about not wanting to go on his weird adventures. I didn't know this guy that much, but I don't...
Yeah, I didn't know they mattered to him that much. I thought he was just bored. I didn't know we were stabbing the knife in.
But I wouldn't be pretending that I don't want him to be sad.
Yeah.
Maybe we can reach an understanding,
All right, so what's the game plan?
I have an idea.
Okay.
A castle would be a really cool place to play hide and seek. Or swords and sorcery, some kind of game with mechanics. You guys have been really into setting up weird chess adjacent things. We could involve chess in our swords and sorcery roleplay game.
Do we have that at our disposal?
I will say, Irene, as you pitch a swords and sorcery style adventure, the room around you shifts and you find yourself in a very classic D&D style dungeon full of traps and shit. And actually, in the truest classic D&D fashion, there is nothing in front of you other than a door.
Because I can imitate voices, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know that,
Yeah.
but I can be to make it more realistic, we can begin the adventure by saying, "Dear adventurers, it is time for yet another one of my cool adventures from me, Victor Daemon. Ah, ah, ah."
And Ari, so we are doing a role-playing system this time around called Mischief. It is made by the people behind the podcast Dungeons and Drimbus. It is a 1d12 system with 3 stats. You have body for doing stuff with your body and melee attacks, Mind for doing things with intelligence and ranged attacks, and Will, which is for talking to people, magic, stuff like that. So Kike has an ability where he can duplicate any voice, and it looks like you don't need to roll it. It looks like, you know what? For the fun of it, I'll have you roll plus mind, since that is your best stat.
Okay. Roll 1d12. 7.
A 7 is a mixed success. So I'm going to say you do the voice. You know, the welcome to the dungeon. But it is, as you said it, it's depressingly vague. It's like,
welcome to the dungeon, where you'll do your quest and stuff.
I know very little about games like this. However, Irene says, definitely not excited at all. She begins to scan for traps.
Roll, we'll do mind for finding traps.
I just want to clarify, she is not happy to be here at all, and she's not excited, and she isn't into this.
Yeah.
I just want you all to know, she's never wanted to play D&D, but had no friends in her entire life. She's never thought about it. 8.
Okay, a mixed success. Irene, you do find a trap, but having never played these games, you don't know what happens next. Because, you know, the thing that people always say is, I search for traps. It's never, I disarm traps.
No, she's like, the first thing to do, check for traps.
Yeah, and the trap is just, I'll say it's the lock on the door.
So Irene does not say this, but in reference to so many D&D games, who wants to flirt with the door?
I'll do it.
You walk up to the door, Sparky, and you do notice that there is in fact an eyeball behind it. Something is looking through from the other side.
Hello. But I'm looking through it like with my sunglasses on, so I can't even like see my eyes.
Okay. So you're looking through with your sunglasses.
Yeah,
What's your game plan here, Sparky?
I came into this so confident.
Irene is clasping her hands together and not saying anything, even though she wants to say something.
He's just leaning in a corner, arms crossed, looking at Sparky.
Just talking to the mimic next to you. Can you see this shit?
We'd really like to get through the door. Can you help us out?
Why do you want through the door?
Well, we're stuck in the room and we'd just love to get out.
Get out?
Like of this room and into where you are, on the other side of the door.
No one wants to go where I am.
Well, why not?
Roll me will, Sparky.
I get a +1 to will.
Yes.
10.
Okay. In that case, that is a full success. So the voice behind will say,
No one wants to be on the outside.
Is that where you are, the outside?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then we're on the inside. I totally misunderstood. Do you want to come in? Because if you open the door from that side, you can come in here.
the door opens just really nervously. And you see the, easily commercialifiable baby.
It's a baby! I'm not gonna flirt with the baby chibi.
Tiny Victor Daemon wearing his little cloak, and he opens the door, but he doesn't walk through the doorstep.
You can come in if you want.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. 1, 2.
And the second he crosses the threshold, he disintegrates.
What?
Oh, what?
Sparky doesn't react right away. She's just like frozen and she goes, "Oh, that's gonna haunt me for a long time." Can I check the floor where like was there something that caused it, or is this like a
No, it looks normal.
Okay, well,
Certainly a way to open the door. I'm gonna say it's gonna haunt
I
me.
started with the floor and then it got weird and he was little and I didn't mean for that to happen.
No, it's gonna haunt me too, and I am not responsible for it.
It's only going to haunt me if he no longer exists. If we were supposed to do that, this is a victory. and we should be pleased with ourselves.
So do we think he's trapped in like a literal sense in the middle of the castle, but it stands for a larger metaphor type of thing? Like he's sad and his feelings are hurt, so he's put up these walls, and now we have to get past the walls, but like he can't get past the, he wanted to go outside, but he can't. We have to go in to where he's at.
That's actually pretty profound, Sparky. I think that is kind of a good analogy to my whole train situation.
I wouldn't know, but I would guess that many situations like this do have a theming and plot that run through the, I don't know what the word is, but perhaps I would consider something like a campaign.
Like a campaign.
Or not that.
No, campaign's perfect. That's what like D&D players use, right? To say,
oh, is it?
For like the full adventure. Can I roll insight to see if Irene is shitting me? I want to roll to see
roll will.
If I understand. I'd even like to use my bold ability, make a risky revelation to get someone to confide in you.
I'll give you good luck, which is like advantage.
Okay, sweet. First one. Okay, my first D12 was a 3, but I get a second one. So hang on. My second was a 6 plus 1 7.
Okay, so mixed success.
Yeah.
And you were trying to see if she is into it?
Yeah, I'm trying to parse out how legitimate the, like, on a failure, I would be like, oh, Irene doesn't want to play D&D.
You can tell that she definitely would want to play a game like this, but you don't pick up the reason why she hasn't. So you don't understand that it's because she has no one to play it with.
Okay.
You might even think she just plays it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
jump to conclusions. Join the club.
I don't like that ASMR jump to conclusions. That was deeply uncomfortable.
Conclusions.
No.
Scratch. Jingle, jingle.
The door's open. You just have to walk through.
I know,
Sparky,
we're gonna
say
walk,
your
but
goddamn
I'm talking
line.
while we're walking. I'm saying...
Sparky, say your goddamn line.
Irene, so you play D&D? Like, I'm going for the jugular here with my misunderstanding.
Of course not.
Oh, it's just you knew the words.
As I said, I do not know what this is.
Okay, you just knew the words, so that was my assumption there.
I am very smart.
Yeah.
She says, her shoulders up.
That's why do you think I mean, you're small, but that's because
her eyes widen and she turns again.
You're like, because you're like,
we should move on.
All right. So I want everyone to paint the scene, and I want you to describe this room. It's a room inside of a castle. And I want you to describe how this is the room of someone always looking in. Basically the equivalent of like the person standing staring at the window inside, how this room is the version of that. I will start by saying that it is surrounded by a starry fog. And if you look far, far in the distance, you can see bright little lights. Some of them are large enough that they look almost like planets, places too far to reach, but close enough to view.
However, you can only see that if you move aside the dusty blinds.
The blinds which have been dusty because they have rarely been closed.
It doesn't look anything like Irene's room.
There is a single toy in the middle of the room, and it is a broken violin.
What?
I guess that's not a toy.
No, it's great.
But a single object in the middle of a room, and it's a broken violin.
No, it's a toy to him. No, we're sticking with the broken violin as a toy.
Well, I mean, if it's for a little kid, it might be a small violin.
Yeah.
Like one of the practice ones that almost feels like more of a toy.
Yeah.
Clearly, Hallie wasn't much of a lonely child.
I was just thinking, like, damn, I wasn't lonely, was I? Because I can't think of anything to put in a lonely child's room.
If you don't come up with something, I'm giving him an old iPod filled with podcasts.
Oh no!
A neon sign that says open, but it's flickering and no one's ever seen it.
These might count as, like, toy adjacent, which goes against the only broken violin at the center of the room, but there are just so many completed jigsaw puzzles.
I mean, I don't think that's a toy.
It's like, it's adjacent
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
And as you take that all in, before you can interact with anything, you see a pop-up appear in front of you. And it just says, adventure complete. And there's like a chibi Victor Daemon who gives you a thumbs up, blinking,
Adorable.
before the light reappears and you are back in the room with the heart. But the heart, you can see, is no longer fully white. Instead, like a loading bar or like a cup being filled with Kool-Aid, it is now partially red.
Is it half full or half empty?
What do you think, Irene?
Definitely half empty.
All right, look at that. See, we're making progress.
It appears our short campaign, I would almost consider calling it something like a, I don't know, mini campaign is over. Shall we move on to something else?
Well, it's not over because we don't have the heart all the way. You just mean like step 1 is over?
Yeah, we've only gone through one door of many.
Yeah, this is.
I was guessing that we should switch it up, as yearly we seem to be focusing on our own character in some way, and therefore each of us should have some sort of part in this. We each did offend him after all.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Irina's been thinking about this a lot. She's been mad about it a lot.
So what are your adventures, Sparky and Kike?
Also, Irina's not disappointed that it's over at all, and you can't tell.
Well, after this exciting adventure of Irene, I think going into something more slow and classic and easier to understand, at least for me, than whatever these D&D is called for. So, how about we just go into the wonderful adventure that is the world of
A nice, calm game of chess.
we can all play against the black pieces that represents the black in Victor Daemon's heart, you see, and so by winning against it, we can maybe bring some light into his life.
Wouldn't it be the opposite though? Because the heart's completely white and we want to do colors?
Ah, yes. Beating him down again seems like a good idea.
No, it's not beating him in that way.
Yeah, it's like it's challenging him, like it's playing. It's not beating. It's having enough respect for your opponent that you're truly playing the game and trying to win instead of just complaining the whole time.
And so Kike announces in Victor Daemon's voice, today we are playing a nice, boring game of chess. And before he can even finish chess, you hear the bloodshed. What is scarier than a Halloween episode that's not on Halloween? Thank you for listening to this year's episode. As mentioned earlier, we are playing a role-playing system called Mischief that I really like. They actually just had a crowdfunding campaign for a full version, but you can play the version we played today by clicking the link down in the description. Down there, you're also going to find a link to the Quest Friends fan art exchange. This is a thing that we're doing in December, where basically fans of the show are able to share any kind of fan art with each other. And any kind of art is fine. We're talking music, video essays, drawn art, fan fiction, whatever you like. And it is open to every single fan of Quest Friends. We kind of have a Secret Santa format set up, so I will be pairing people specifically who have both listened to the same things and, if possible, have similar interests in what they like to create and what they like to receive. So even if this is your only Quest Friends episode, if you're interested, check the link in the description. Signups will end on November 17th. Finally, one last thing down there in the description. Hallie, Emily, and I were on a podcast a while ago called Fail and Fortune, where we basically talked about all the ways that things have just gone wrong in our TTRPG adventures. If that sounds interesting to you, then perk up your ears for a trailer describing the show in the creator's own words.
Fail and Fortune is the YouTube show where we wrangle actual play podcasters into reliving their biggest behind-the-scenes disasters, most unhinged table moments, and the beautiful, messy magic that somehow made it all work. It's raw. It's ridiculous. We sometimes question our life choices. Find Fail and Fortune on YouTube and Spotify. Subscribe if you've ever rolled a nat 1 and blamed the dice. We know. We saw it. We forgive you. It's comedy. It's confession. It's catharsis. Fail and Fortune.
That is all I've got for you today. For the rest of 2025, as I work on other projects, we are going to be going a bit slower than usual, 1 episode per month. So because this was supposed to be the October episode, we will be having 1 other episode in November, and we will be having Hallmarked yet again in December. But if you'd like additional short stories, video outtakes, and other fun stuff, we are still making content over on patreon.com/questfriends. I'll see you there. I rolled a 13 as a rowdy party goer on top of a castle in the form of a rook. Just steamrolls over you drunkenly, Sparky. And so you are going to take 2 wounds. You can expend 1 of your armor to make that 1 wound, because 2 wounds is pretty bad.
I was gonna say, I start each day with 1 natural armor, so I will take just 1 wound, please.
As you just get fucking toppled. And you notice that you are in a friendly game of chess as the pieces. All around you, you can see all of Victor Daemon's attendants tired, beleaguered, knocked out by a series of raucous partygoers. You know, you've got your werewolves, your zombies.
Nice.
But from their perspective, it is friendly, because this is what it looked like every time Victor Daemon had a party. People came, trashed his house, and didn't clean up.
Oh no.
And you are the last line of defense, protecting the King Victor Daemon, who you can tell is like trying to listen to a podcast to like drown out the voices.
He just wanted to have a party with friends, and this is what happened. He wanted to not be making a jigsaw puzzle.
Like he's talking about like,
I just like the way they're friends who help each other on any quest, be it perils of the body or the heart.
Oh no.
Don't mention that it's a role-playing podcast or Irene's going to be over there.
but all of you now have to deal with, we will say you have to deal with a rook, a pawn, and we'll say a pawn is just like a little goblin. And for the sake of time, I'll just make it the rook and the pawn.
You know, part of me did have the fear that we would end up being the pieces against this metaphorical game of chess, but it is okay, because we are helping our friend Daemon here. And so, do you know how to play chess, Sparky? I know Irene knows how to play chess, but...
Getting up from the floor where she has been toppled by a rook, she's like, no.
Well, that was obvious, otherwise you would have seen...
No, I do not. Just tell me where to go.
Otherwise, you would have seen that rooks only move on a straight line, and you could have dove out of the way.
Came straight at me, so...
That is okay. We learned along the way. So...
You say in a straight line as you see the tower being basically driven by this werewolf, drunkenly swerving over the lines as it peels away.
Sparky does not know how to play chess, a thing I just decided, so this means nothing to her.
Can I accidentally heal Sparky while trying to pick up a piece of trash?
Yes, but you're going to have to explain how you accidentally heal Sparky trying to pick up a piece of trash.
Oh, I'm just leaning over to pick up the piece of trash, trip. My hand accidentally, brushes against her, and she feels better.
Okay. Yeah, roll plus will.
I rolled a 9, and I have +2.
Oh!
So that's an 11.
Sparky, you feel rejuvenated as Irene puts her hand on you, and while she had previously appeared rather mundane, you now notice that her eyes start to glow, her hair rises, and she has this magical aura around her.
That's probably fine.
And you realize for the first time that not only can she, but this whole time Irene could cast spells.
Irene, are you aware you're a spellcaster?
It's actually kind of cool.
Like
The thing.
when you say spellcaster, would you consider such mythical, historical fiction figures such as a warlock or a sorcerer or
Irene,
perhaps...
I'm so sorry, but as your mid-monologue, the goblin jumps on top of you and hits you with another critical hit. And since you have a weakness to physical damage, all 3 wounds of yours are filled.
What?
So Irene, you go down immediately.
Irene, you're a spellcaster. You can't do physical combat.
trying to talk about D&D without talking about it and is immediately murdered.
And we are going to start a combat. So the way combat in this game works, you've got 2 enemies, a werewolf on top of like a tower as a rook driving it like a car, and a goblin. Everyone moves once in a turn, so any order you want. In between yours, I will move. I will say, Irene, you are down, so to begin our fight, I would like you to roll me a death saving throw.
So, if I got a 5, can I fix that? Is that fixable?
You get a trauma of your choice, so you will live, and I'll even say you can stay in the fight, but you do have to now have something that will permanently impede you. It could be something like a broken leg, for example, or, you know, a mental thing, like, oh man, I'm never gonna talk about D&D again.
I think Irene is coming to the realization, partially due to this, of how Victor Daemon felt, and she is absolutely spiraling. She is barely paying attention, and she's also consumed with the fact that there is like trash and things are being wrecked, and she's so distracted that she just like is half not even aware of what's going on.
Okay, I'm just gonna say your trauma is you actually feel bad about what happened with Victor.
Oh yeah, no, she feels super bad, and she's starting to relate, and she doesn't like that.
All right, Sparky and Kike, it is your turn.
Oh my god, Irene!
As much as I love the idea of actually doing a chess match, there's no fucking way I'm simulating a chess match through words. You are just doing a combat on a chessboard.
Irene, face down, disheveled, slowly pushes herself into a sitting position and kind of just like 1,000-yard stares. I'm fine.
Kike is going to look horrified at the chess pieces and be like, okay, I've had it. You hurt my friend. You wrecked this house. You broke the rules of chess. And you broke poor Victor Daemon's heart. I think it's time for all of you to leave. And then he's going to do rapid fire, where I can target a number of creatures with a series of rapid ranged attacks up to my mind. And so there's 2 creatures, so I want to target.
So Kike suddenly just pulls out a badass, like, Hellsing vampire hunter crossbow and just rapid fires it, and I need you to roll me plus mind.
Irene would be so into that if she saw it at all.
Does everybody have cool spells?
I want to say that there's like music out of nowhere, like some cool music playing as he slow-mo takes the...
One of those, like, rock gothic things from, like, a 2000s vampire movie.
Yes. And I rolled a 10.
All right, yeah. You hit the goblin, which immediately shatters into a bunch of pieces. And when it shatters, it's not like you killed it. It shatters into an actual, like, pawn piece. And then you turn and you hit the werewolf, and that gets damaged but is still up for the fight.
Kike is going to, like, as if it was a gun, even though it's not, like the thing that people do.
But because this is a mindscape, it is smoking like a gun, because you're like, this is what would be cool.
Yes. He's gonna go after Irene and see if she's okay after that.
Sparky, completely devoid of spells and cool abilities, just punches it because she does know that her unarmed attacks
You have an
are
ability,
lethal.
you are literally the only person who can, with advantage, use anything in the scene as a weapon.
Well, yeah, but that's not a spell. That's just pick up a thing and do good with it. Kike just did like a Van Helsing sword. Like, that's what she means. But also, my unarmed attacks are lethal, so why would I use an improvised weapon? I guess I get a better roll if I use an improvised weapon.
I mean, no, you can run it, so we'll say...
No, I want to pick up the pawn that the goblin just shattered into and use that as an improvised weapon and chuck it at the werewolf.
Okay, roll me... Because it's just a piece, we'll do plus mind. It's not like it matters. All your stats are 1. But I don't care. Roll.
So I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to go to a set that's not just in my bag. 9. So 10.
Okay, Sparky, describe how, of course, starting with you putting your sunglasses down, you chuck this thing at the werewolf.
So to build up momentum, I like pick up the pawn and then I do a twirl before I throw it. And you'd think that to keep up the momentum, you'd have to keep the twirl going. But I stop in the middle of it, lower my sunglasses, then throw it as if the twirl was still happening. Like it still goes whoosh.
And it flies forward, and I will say it knocks off the werewolf. He just gets knocked off. But like a runaway car, the rook is still going around. And
that's really funny.
With a 9... which is a full success, Sparky, you are going to take 1 more wound as it crashes into you again. Kike, this is when you're able to get to Irene.
Okay. I don't have any things to actually heal Irene or anything.
Nope.
But he's just gonna see if she's okay, like, so sorry I put you through this with this adventure. I guess I didn't, think it would get this rough.
I do not believe that this is your fault in any way. We did not expect brutality.
Yeah, I guess I can see how Victor Daemon feels after, he comes up with an adventure and then it all goes downhill from his original expectation.
Irene, who did not fully register that, corrects herself. Well, I guess I did go in expecting brutality, just not in the physical sense. Chess matches can be very exciting.
Yes, they can.
Speaking of, you still have a renegade rook riding around.
So, can I do anything, or...?
Yeah, you can do things. You now just have bad luck on any roll you make.
Okay, because one thing is, I can sense and communicate with any nearby living creatures. Does Victor Daemon count?
Yeah, I mean, he's right there. Yeah, you can talk to King Daemon, who's just been listening to his podcast.
Excuse me, I hate to interrupt your podcast.
Dying is when you don't come back. Yes.
He takes out an earbud.
Oh, no.
This is your home. I think that you need to tell them to leave.
Oh, well, if I do that, then they won't come back. I have to be a gracious host after all.
When people aren't nice to you, you don't need to try to be friends with them. You should try to be friends with people that are nice to you.
Why, of course! If you can find those folks, naturally. Oh, I see.
This was a mistake.
Roll me plus will.
Plus will, okay. I got an 8, with plus 2 is 10.
Yes, I will find people, and I will test to see if they are as good as you are.
Memory Victor will do tapping on you.
Please don't tap me.
And with that, Victor's gonna look at the tower and be like,
That's not very nice. You failed the test.
and he will, because he is an all-powerful vampire, I'll say we'll snap his fingers, and the rook will just collapse.
Oh my god.
Look, I just feel like Victor needs to learn to stand up for himself.
And so, Adventure complete with the little thumbs up, and you are back in the room.
Did we not watch Victor dissolve into nothingness this time, or are we living with that image again? Was it just the kid?
You did not see him dissolve again.
Okay, cool. It was just the child.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. Because I can't think of an easy way to say this, because I had said Irene stop being useful, you realize that Victor has never actually left the Daemon Saloon or Tremaine Bluffs. It looks like he maybe can't leave. Anyways, you are back in the room. The heart is now a third empty. Or for Sparky and Kike, it's 2/3 full.
Yes.
We'll get there.
All right, Sparky, what is your adventure? Unless you all want to debrief first, because Irene is still fucked up.
Oh yeah, Irene is still fucked up. Irene, what can we do?
I think I get it.
Get what?
I thought that Victor Daemon was mad at us because we beat him up and were mean to him. I perhaps did not consider what it feels like to share something and then the people that you share it with aren't okay with you sharing. And now I feel, and she pauses, having rarely, if ever, said this, ashamed.
Oh.
We did a bad thing, but I perhaps did not realize what bad meant. I do not like the feeling of shame.
It's a rough one.
It was nice to begin to share our adventures with each other, but it seems selfish to do that and ignore his adventures. Perhaps, potentially, possibly.
So, go ahead.
No,
Sparky.
go ahead, Kike. Go ahead, Kike.
Oh no!
No, I'm serious. I don't like. I just, I'm kind of at a loss. So I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that we should look for adventures that Victor has created and look for those instead of suggesting some of our own adventures.
We have found him through our own adventures, so perhaps that is the way to move forward. But I think we need to apologize, and I think I did not perhaps fully understand before why we needed to apologize. And now I do, and it does not feel very good. I don't like doing things wrong, and I think I did things wrong.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I think we all did, kid.
Well, I have been vulnerable. Sparky Malarkey, consider your adventure so we may find Victor Daemon and support him in his journey. Please. Thank you.
Okay. I forget, does Sparky have to speak it into being, or does it just happen?
Kike in the Victor voice has to speak. Actually,
Okay.
I will say that this time Kike doesn't have to speak it. As you think of the idea, Victor's words, however faint, start to say the adventure for you.
Yay!
Maybe the heart is 2/3 full.
Docu-Thriller Night!
The ideal adventure for Sparky is like an All the President's Men docu-thriller. Just a docu-thriller. One of those 2.5-hour movies where people look at documents the whole time and make hushed, frantic phone calls full of information. Just a newspaper room with I found a source, and we're gonna meet at the docks tonight at 12 a.m.
I'm going to say you are all in a room. It is a room full of documents. There are monitors all over the place, and inside the monitors, you see a group of 4 people. You see a blue-cloaked wizard, a cowboy who looks really nerdy, a hot robot, and then a small grandma with a folding chair. They're going through challenges, but they all seem not confident in their bodies, as if they're not used to being in them. And Victor's talking to himself, looking at it, being like,
Yes, they're passing the test. They're passing the friendship test.
and he is looking at the monitors, but you see a series of documents around them. And I'm going to say, as you pick up the documents, Irene, you notice the document you pick up is a bomb.
What?
I think I have picked up the wrong thing. Sparky Malarkey, this is a bomb.
I didn't expect that to be in a docu-thriller. Hang on. Okay. Just don't move. Just be very still.
She is very still, and she's looking down. So, the document, does it look like a bomb?
It's just a bomb. It's just a bomb. It's like...
Why did I pick up a bomb? I would go for the documents. I want to read dry papers.
It's like the Community scene where he's like, hey, what does a pregnancy test look like? And they're like a little stick. And he's like, so this is definitely a gun. And he pulls it out. It's like that.
Kike will be like, hang on, I think I got this. And he will approach his bird eye to the bomb, and I will use eagle eyes. All attempt to decipher machinery, reloaders or track down targets are lucky. In this case, I want to decipher machinery because the bomb is a machine, right?
Yeah.
So I want to examine it with like his bird eye and see if there's some sort of mechanism that should be like...
Roll me mind with good luck.
The first one was a 3. However, the second one was a 2. So plus 9 is a 12.
Nice.
Wait, you rolled a 2 and a 3?
No, I rolled a 3 and a 10.
Oh,
I heard
the
2.
second one was a 2.
Yeah,
and I
that's
was
what
like,
I heard.
No.
Okay, yeah. Full success. You can look at it and you know exactly what wires to cut.
Perfect. So Kike, zooming in with his eye, is gonna be like, okay, I got this. This is like the laser tech stuff had to break that bomb in the second book. That's not important. The important thing is that it's always the red wire, and that is what we need to cut.
That book is so good because it's also a docu-thriller.
So, I think we should go for this. Does anybody have a thing to cut it? I can try and cut it with my bird beak.
I don't know if you should do that.
Before you do that, I'm going to use Scavenger. Spend 1 coin, which I have, to conveniently find a useful item of your choice, and I find wire cutters.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, roll me mind with good luck.
11 plus 1 is 12.
Yeah, it's cut. It's diffused.
Hell yeah. High five, Kike.
High with wing.
Yeah. And then she takes off her sunglasses because she just did a cool thing, which was hand wire cutters to somebody else who defused a bomb.
Can I set this bomb down?
Yeah, as you say that, a tiny goblin, who you would recognize as Victor Daemon's old assistant, Ben the Goblin, just is like, oh, that's where I put that. Thank you. And he grabs the bomb and trots off. And in your fastest attempt so far, Adventure Complete appears with a thumbs up.
I love docu-thrillers.
This was a fun idea, Sparky.
Thanks. Whips off the sunglasses again.
I liked it, but I would have liked it better if I could have read a document.
I feel ya.
I don't think you meant to have a bomb, so
No.
it's okay.
You know, that was unexpected, but we handled it. You did a good job, Irene.
Yeah.
Thank you, I did nothing.
But you held a bomb. Like, that's like most people would panic if they held a bomb, but you didn't. And that sounds really patronizing, but I don't mean it that way.
I believe I am still going through an existential crisis.
I believe you are. I also believe this, that you are going through an existential crisis. But this happens to the best of us.
So you all return to the room. You see the heart is now fully red. It has blood pumping in and out of it. Probably hopefully metaphorical, but it is beating. And inside of it, you can see just the faint silhouette of a figure, almost like the heart is a cocoon. Here, the mind makes things real, and so I have one last paint the scene for you. I want each of you to tell me, what do you think of Victor Daemon? How does your character view him?
Earnestly, after all these adventures and thinking more into him, Kike sees him as a very creative man. He's just very creative with his adventures, and he likes that creativity.
Sparky sees him as someone who, unbeknownst to her, has been trying very hard to break out of his shell, so to speak. One of those extroverts who also has a lot of anxiety, but you wouldn't necessarily know it because they're extroverted and they don't go hand in hand all the time.
Irene sees him sort of as the way he's been, except a little more like her. Maybe that means like younger and a little bit nerdy, just a little bit less bombastic, I think.
And as those thoughts manifest, the heart begins to bubble before popping and splooshing a body to the ground.
You okay?
Okay, I am better than okay.
Victor Daemon stands up, and you can see that he has beautiful, colorful butterfly wings now through his metamorphosis. If you paid close attention, you would notice that his smile is not as big as it used to be, but it's not forced. It's authentic. It's just a little bit shy and sheepish. And you would, if you were really paying attention, would notice that he just has a single zit on the side of his face and is about 3 inches shorter than he was in the past.
I must thank you, friends, for coming here to rescue me, but I thought you were not my friends.
And that's our fault.
Yeah, I think we just weren't really good at communicating things. But we can definitely be friends.
Not good at communicating. That's a good idea for next year's test.
Well, he's gonna whisk a notebook out of nowhere and start writing down.
Yeah, we didn't know how much these tests meant to you, and we were ruder than necessary because of it. But that's we just didn't know. So we're sorry.
Irene will go up to him and like cup her hand so Sparky and Kike can't see what she's saying.
I'm sorry that I didn't see you.
And then she'll pretend that she never said it, turn around stiffly, and walk away.
He's gonna cover up part of his face like with a butterfly wig as he starts sobbing to himself.
It means so much, you know. The tests at first were tests, but they were also fun. I wanted to make fun things like I would wanna do, you know, for people I cared about, for the only ones who came back.
Nobody says that we don't come back on purpose.
And we do it again, Victor.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to do an adventure similar to what I imagine may be something like what I have heard is called D&D, we will accept that, I guess.
He's gonna clasp your face.
Irene, dear, no one wants to listen to 2 hours of combat.
Irene will pull her head down to her shoulders and squirm away.
And, you know, if you want sometimes, you could even be part of the tests with us. You know, I don't know if it gets lonely sometimes to observe. It's up to you, but we would love to if you just, you know, hang out.
Maybe next year. But for this year, friends, come at me, bros.
And he's gonna lift his arms for a hug, tucking his mouth in so that his fangs don't accidentally bite you.
Irene will stand by him a little out of arm's reach and nod officially.
I drag Irene into the hug.
She doesn't look thrilled.
Yeah, I do it anyway.
I was going for a cordial handshake.
That's not the vibe right now.
I'm gonna say you all embrace in a hug together, knowing that the next time you walk through the door to the Daemon Saloon, for the first time, it'll be by your own choice. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll to see, because we're going to start with a single person doing a scene. The low numbers, 1 through 4, it's Hallie. 5 through 8, it's Emily. and 9 through 12, it's Ari.
This feels targeted.
Should I be offended that you gave me the low numbers and Ari the high numbers?
Wait, what?
I'm basically rolling to see, we're going to start with a little bit of a solo scene.
But like 1 to 4 is me, and then the higher ones are you, and that feels
I mean, that tracks,
cruel,
you know?
considering my recent difficulties.
And I'm the mid numbers that Hallie didn't even mention.
Well, because you have like a healthy balance of roles. You are like you have a healthy you get to do things, but you also have funny moments where you don't.
Speaking of the mid numbers, we are going to start with Irene.
Yay!
Not mimicking your movements, and unlike you, from head to toe, clothing included, completely white, like a mannequin. Dusty does not like the mannequin.
No. Dusty thought that was scary.
He's so rambunctious. Dusty, what ails you?
He does not like this whitewashing of Irene.
And that's when I will say, Sparky and Kike, you, having gone through very similar conversations with your own version of Discarded.
Were theirs as mean to them as mine was to me?
Honestly, I think both Kike and Sparky would get along decently well with their Discarded.
Yeah.
Like, Kike's had to deal with all the key clones, so his Discarded is like second to Bruno as the most reasonable one he's had to deal with.
Yeah, they both kind of would commiserate over the disaster that is having other selves running around.
Yeah, and I imagine Sparky and her Discarded have already exchanged theories.
Yeah.
Anyways, you having been... He's a fucking skeleton,
He was
Emily.
already-
But yes, his clothes were white. Anyways, I did imagine Discarded Kike being a little more white, because Bone isn't perfectly white.
He just used his whitening toothpaste.
Yeah. Dusty's snores are so distressing in the mic.
Dusty's sleeping on the microphone.
He really is. I can hear him.
The Fable and Folly Network, where fiction producers flourish.